So previously, this is what happened on Monday Night Raw. Last week, we saw a dominant performance once again by Enzo and Cass, picking up their second big victory in 2 weeks, this time defeating Los Matadors. But they weren't the only tag teams making waves last week. We saw here the Dudley Boys setting up Kofi Kingston for the 3D, and Bubba Ray dropped in to get the free count over the current tag team champions, the New Day. And because of both those real strong performances this evening, we are going to have, you probably guessed it by now, a number 1 contendership match. The winner of the Dudley Boys and Enzo and Cass will go on to face off against the New Day at the Royal Rumble. Also last week we saw Charlotte right here picking up a victory over Paige in a number 1 contendership match. And tonight she's going to cash that in to get herself a championship shot against Sasha Banks. But the big news is still to come. Here it is. We saw this guy earlier on today entering the office of the Authority. And if you haven't guessed as yet, there he is. Kota Ibushi is here on Monday Night Raw. And he's been putting a match straight away. A fatal 4-way number 1 contendership match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Tony Nese, Braun, Kendrick, Cedric Alexander and Kota Ibushi. That is happening tonight. But enough of what happened last week. Let's get straight into tonight's show. Hey everyone, Shabby Gaming here, and welcome back to another episode in our WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. Sorry it's been a bit of a long time since the last video, but I will explain as we go on tonight exactly what has happened. But as you've seen earlier on, we've already got some big things set up for this evening, so let's get right into the show. And we do start things off this evening with Brock Lesnar coming to the ring. Of course, we already know that a couple of weeks ago it has been announced that Brock Lesnar will be one of those 3 men in the main event at Royal Rumble. Of course, Kevin Owens defending his Universal Championship against both Lesnar and Sami Zayn. Looks like we're going to hear from Lesnar here this evening, see what he's got in his mind, and hopefully we can pull off a decent promo. We've been a little bit shaky of recent episodes with the promo, so hopefully we can pull off a good one. I'm still not 100% sure on the meter and everything like that, see if it's a good one or not, but here we go. It'd be nice if they would add to the game, so let me just go for a little bit different. It'd be nice if we added from the game where Paul Heyman could do the promos. Oh, have I? Oh, I put it on Simulator, haven't I? You guys know me, you girls know me, and I know me. Be sure to realise that I'm the best superstar on this roster. So why am I not treated as such? I think I may have forgotten to control this. Today I brought a new pair of boots. They're pretty comfortable actually. They tie up real nice, and actually they've got a nice shine to them. One day, maybe I'll wear them when you... Monday, maybe I'll wear them out here for you idiots to envy. Okay, I'm not quite sure where Brock's going with this one. I couldn't care less about the politics in this company. I'm not here to be a politician. I'm here to be a superstar. An ass kicker. Love me or hate me. Surely you hate me. But this is my time. So Brock Lesnar healing up here for this this match at the Royal Rumble. Looks like Sami Zayn is going to go in as a big babyface against the 2 immovable objects in the shape of Lesnar and Owens. I don't really care what anyone in the back has to say about it. I care about the Authority. If they approve, I'm all good. And I have no doubt that they will approve. Well, then the Authority are backing Kevin Owens at the moment, so Lesnar... maybe a bit tricky on his words there. Maybe he knows the Authority are behind him because he knows that he's definitely going to sell money. He's definitely going to sell tickets for pay-per-views. As far as my demands go, I'll be looking forward to them happening. Thank you in advance to the Authority and to the WWE. And to everyone who pays my bills. Have a good night. So Brock Lesnar there. His demand was to be in the Universal Championship match at the Royal Rumble. We already know that is definitely going ahead. I don't know what else that he's asked the Authority for. Don't know what else he can take off WWE, really. He's getting an absolute butt ton of money. He's in the main event of pay-per-views whenever he wants it. He's the man who defeated The Undertaker. And Brock Lesnar's really got everything he could ever dream for in the WWE. But evidently he's looking for more. And it'll be interesting to see if the Authority give him that. We already know he's been given time off, shall we say, in inverted commas, until the Royal Rumble, so we will not be seeing any of Brock Lesnar in the ring until the Royal Rumble. Of course, I've only seen him in the ring once this universe mode so far. He defeated Sami Zayn one-on-one before Kevin Owens launched his attack. And here is our first match for the evening. It is going to be Curtis Axel taking on the immovable object that is Braun Strowman. This should be quite an interesting match, this one. Strowman did pick up a win last week, but it wasn't exactly convincing, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens here this evening. Now, I was going to tell you why it's been a bit of a delay in the new episode coming in. Now, basically, I know this is not just a problem that I've been having, it's quite a common problem apparently. I set up to record this about 3 or 4 days ago, switched the game on. I thought, you know what, I'm going to use my downloadable content space. So I started making my 20 downloads, and I come across a Pentagon Junior. Now, I have already got a Pentagon Junior, but it was playing up a little bit. It wouldn't seem to load these skins. So what I did is I tried to download a new one over the top of that one. That then made my game crash. So I restarted the game. It pops up on the screen and says, your save file is now corrupted and will be deleted, which I was absolutely gutted about. So all the work we've done so far, everyone had downloaded, all the universe mode setup, the first 2 weeks of the universe mode all got completely wiped. So for the last few days, I have been basically redoing everything, trying to get as many downloads as I possibly can, because obviously you've only got a limit per day of what you can get. I've been trying to make sure everything is in place so we can continue this universe mode, and of course continue doing our random matches as well. So that's what's been happening in my life. I know it's not just me. I believe it's been an issue with quite a lot of people as well. I think it's something to do with, from what I read on the forums, it's something to do with downloading a created wrestler that comes with more than 14 unique logos, which I can't understand why there'll be more than 14 unique logos on Pentagon Junior, because all he's got really is his shirt and then his mask, and then apart from that, everything should be, I don't know, difficult to say, I suppose, but yeah, that's just a bit disappointing in my opinion. I know 2K have a habit of just releasing broken games. This game right here is so broken at the moment. I know we are expecting a patch in the next week or so, which I believe that both Microsoft and PlayStation have got the patch. It's just a case of double checking it before they release it. But at the moment, it's just like this episode of Raw, for example. It starts up, it's 7 matches on the card. I go in there, I've edited all 7 matches, and now all of a sudden I've ended up with a card that's got 26 matches on there. I don't know how. My 7 matches are on there, then the game has generated an extra 19 matches afterwards. I've got no idea. But the thing is, 19 matches afterwards, but 6 of those matches are Paige versus Charlotte. And I can't understand what this game is on about, so hopefully that is one of the things they are going to fix in the new patch. As well, I think there's still some pretty big AI issues in tag team matches that need sorting as well. Triple threats and fatal 4-ways I'm really happy with. Last man standing seemed to work quite well. We did that the other day as well. So there's not a lot of AI issues. I think just Elimination Chamber is a slight issue. Tag team matches are a big issue. They need to sort that out. And obviously just fixing the bugs that are making the game crash and deleting everyone's save file. Because I tell you what, you've never heard obscenities like it when I started my game back up and it deleted my save file. I was so annoyed. Because I just downloaded loads of new people as well. That was the most annoying thing. I downloaded 18 cores. Then the game crashed. I came back on with a brand new save file. And I was only allowed to download 2 more things that day. And I had to wait another 24 hours before I could download anything else. And obviously, with the massive Fatal 4 match we've got coming up later on for you that we announced earlier on. Of course, if you didn't see that, we saw a little earlier today. We saw none other than Kota Ibushi come into the arena and make his way into the authorities' office. And straight after that, we heard that there is going to be a Fatal 4-way match this evening to determine the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. That is going to be Cedric Alexander, Brian Kendrick, Tony Nese, and of course Kota Ibushi. That's coming up for you later on this evening. We also have our first championship match of the Universe mode as well. We're going to see Sasha Banks defending her belt against Charlotte. Charlotte defeated Paige last week in a #1 contendership full set match. And of course we also have another #1 contendership match as we see the Dudley boys go after Enzo and Cass. The winner of that one will go on to face off against the New Day at the Royal Rumble. So this is a pretty big episode, probably our most important episode so far. Hopefully it's going to be our best episode as well, but there's a lot of interesting things going on this evening, so I'm hoping you're all locked in, all ready to sit down and enjoy yourself. Grab yourself a drink and whatever snack you feel, I suppose. I don't really talk about snacks at the moment. I just had kebab meat and chips on the way in from work, so I'm alright. I'm stuffed now. As Curtis Axel's done a very, very good job here over Braun Strowman. Now, the way that these stats have worked out this year, I think it means basically that... Oh, Curtis Axel. No way, mate. You are going to regret that so much, Curtis Axel. He just pinned Braun Strowman and pulled Strowman's head up before the referee had a chance to count to, well, I don't think the referee would have got to 3 anyway, but that is stupidity there by Curtis Axel. But then Braun Strowman taunting Axel, and Axel getting back in control this one. That's interesting. Now, one thing I did hear actually in the news today, on the wrestling news, which I don't know if it's, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's quite a lot of people have said it, but Curtis Axel is a hometown native, I think, to where Raw was, which I believe was Minnesota this week. And, yeah, security were told to remove any Curtis Axel signs from fans as they came into the arena. Because they're trying to put Bo Dallas over in this feud and all that sort of stuff, they removed all the Curtis Axel signs. And Curtis Axel actually acknowledged this himself on Twitter, saying that he was really unhappy with it. And I can't understand why. I don't know why the WWE like to silence people, and it's a bit stupid in my opinion, considering you see some of the signs on TV you're absolutely stunned with, and then they're taking off Curtis Axel signs because they're trying to put Bo Dallas over. It makes no sense to me at all. I think Bo Dallas is a lost cause. If everyone on the main roster, my least favourite, I think, is Bo Dallas. I don't think he has any real use, in my opinion. I don't think his gimmick's very good. I don't think he's very good in the ring. It's a little bit of a tricky one for me. And Curtis Axel's actually lining Braun Strowman up. If Axel can win this, this will probably be the biggest win of his career. There's that twisting neck breaker. There's no way Axel's going to do this, surely. Referee very slow down, but 1, 2... Holy crap. Curtis Axel has just stopped. He has stopped the hype. Oh, it looks like the replays are back on then, are they? Curtis Axel has just stopped the hype of Braun Strowman. I cannot believe that has just happened. I really can't. That is massive, massive, massive. That is. Wow. Curtis freaking Axel. You absolute crazy person. I can't believe that's just happened. I really can't. I really can't believe that's happened, but I'm pretty sure there might be some comeuppance for that. Genuinely, I think we should actually reward Curtis Axel for that. I'm thinking he should maybe get something for what he's just done. Of course, we know that it's going to be Rusev versus Roman Reigns, the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble, but maybe Curtis Axel can be in the line there as well, because that is a massive, massive victory for him. And I'm sure we're going to see some more from that, I reckon. And here comes the triumphant Curtis Axel from the match. Now, Mick Foley, the general manager, Mick Foley there, shaking hands with Axel. He knows how big that win was. And this could be the start of something special here for Axel. And here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be Seth Rollins taking on Cara. In theory, should be probably a little bit of a one-sided match, but you never know on this game. We've just seen, obviously, Curtis Axel pick up a massive victory against Braun Strowman, so you just never know, really, what is going to happen on this game, do you? It's a bit tricky. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Good to see Seth Rollins as well, of course. Going to be a big part of the Royal Rumble. I'm looking forward to the Rumble, actually. I've not done a Rumble yet. It has been actually requested as a random match, I believe. It is in a hat somewhere, so I need to try and find it and dig it out. Well, no, I'm not going to dig it out, of course. It's all down to me picking out the hat, isn't it, really? I'm not going to dig it out on purpose. Well, I can't dig it out. I say a hat. Somebody actually mentioned this in the comment section. I think it was I Want One. Mentioned this in the comment section yesterday. I keep calling it a hat, and they just inquired, is it actually a hat? Now, it did start off as a hat, but with the things that I put in there to start with, and all the great suggestions I've had from you guys as well, the hat soon became too small, and now I've got an old. Well, I want to call it a lunchbox, but it's a bit big for a lunchbox, really. It's It's a huge, big Tupperware dish that's got all of them in there. So they are technically in a big hat. It's still random draw. It's just not. I don't need to get like a big hat. I might go on Amazon and get myself a big hat. That could be fun. It wasn't I want one, so it's I will one. Or I will own. I will own? I will one? You know what? I don't know. If you are watching this, let me know in the comment section below how to pronounce that, because you've got a lot of random matches in the hat. So let me know, is it I will one or I will own? Let me know. It's going to be one of those two, I'm pretty sure. So let me know how you pronounce your name, just for when saying that. I have already pulled out one of yours to record, so I'm going to have to be... I've pulled up one of yours to record, and it's going to be up tomorrow, I think, live. And I'm hyped for this match. It's going to be incredible. I'm really looking forward to recording it. Yeah, I'm probably going to get it wrong, but there you go. Hopefully I won't. I'm sure it's I will one or I will own. It's one of those two. But enough of me talking about that. Let's get into this match here right in front of me. This is going to be an interesting one. Like I said, Seth, probably a quite strong favourite for this one against Sin Cara. Sin Cara is probably going to be part of the Cruiserweight division as well. Not at the top end at the moment, though, of course, because, well, basically, I'm a big fan of some of the Cruiserweight. I watched a lot of indie wrestling. I still do watch a lot of indie wrestling. So the majority of the Cruiserweight, especially the ones that are at the top end, are ones that I really, really, really like. Tony Nese, I'm a massive fan of Tony Nese. I'm surprised he's actually hits the weight limit. I've always looked at him and thought he's like a heavyweight, but he is actually quite compact. Drew Gulak, a big fan of Drew Gulak. Kota Ibushi, obviously you can't not be a great Kota. The one thing is, right, you know the little bit at the beginning of the episode where we filmed Ibushi going into the authorities' office? Funny thing is, now, because I've had to re-download, because I did all those little videos before my game crashed, because I was in the process of putting the episode together when it crashed. I now have a different Kota Ibushi, which is a better quality than that one. So it's going to look a little bit odd, because we're going to have two different Kota Ibushis in this episode, but hopefully it won't cause any problems. I'm looking forward to seeing him this evening. And if he does become the #1 contender, then TJ Perkins is going to be a little bit worried. Seth now springboard knee to the face of Sin Cara. This could end up being another very, very quick match here. Oh, shoulder block there by Sin Cara, taking Seth down, a double foot stomp. And if Sin Cara could pull off a victory here, just like Curtis Axel in the previous match, this could be a massive one for Sin Cara. This could escalate him much higher up the card. So one thing about the Royal Rumble, actually just thinking about it, I'm assuming because Roman Reigns and Rusev will be fighting for the United States Championship, both those guys are not going to be in the Rumble. But one thing I will say, without trying to give out any spoilers, make sure you tune in for the Rumble, because it's going to be a massive, massive pay-per-view. It's going to be probably in about a week or two's time we'll get the Rumble done, but it is going to be a massive one. There's going to be a lot of interesting things to see, obviously, because I'm trying to tell you stuff without actually telling you stuff, if that makes sense. Because there's no NXT in this universe mode, because of the lack of people we can use on the roster without downloading everyone, there's going to be a few NXT guys that may make it onto the main roster for the run to WrestleMania. That's all I'm going to say. Also, maybe... and the run of, obviously, I'm going to try and make WrestleMania, which is going to be the finale of this first universe mode. Then, of course, we'll get into new ones. But yeah, the WrestleMania at the end of this is going to be huge. I'm expecting a massive, massive WrestleMania. Probably between 10 to 12 matches, I'm hoping for. So it's going to probably end up being about 3 videos. So it's going to be a massive, massive pay-per-view, and obviously we've got to build up to that. I've got some matches in my head already, but of course a lot of it is going to depend on who's the champion and who wins the Rumble, and all that sort of stuff is a little bit still up in the air, but I'm hopefully going to be able to put on a fantastic finale pay-per-view for you. Seth's up top. Is he going to go for a Phoenix Splash? No, he seems to be willing Sin Cara up to his feet. What's he going to go for here? Maybe a Meteora? No, he went for a crossbody. I don't think he caught as much as he wanted to. I think it ended up more of a headbutt to the ribs, really, by Seth, if anything. There's the pin. 1, 2. Still only a 2 count. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll definitely see Seth as one of the favourites to win the Rumble. In fairness, really, yeah. And I did ask a couple of weeks ago what people wanted to see Rumble-wise. I suggested either a 30-man Rumble or two 20-man Rumble. One from Raw and one from SmackDown. I think we are going to stick with the 30-man. That seems to be the consensus I have had back, so we'll stick with that. And also for the pre-show, I am looking to do a women's Royal Rumble as well, where we will basically do the same sort of thing. We're going to have, I don't know how many be in there, maybe it could be a 20-woman Rumble on the pre-show, and the winner will get a guaranteed spot on the WrestleMania card to fight for the Women's Championship. There's the senton bomb by Sin Cara on Seth Rollins, and this could be the night of the underdogs here, couldn't it? Oh, Seth kicked out there from Sin Cara's senton. That could be that could be a big moment there. Sin Cara now up onto the middle rope, willing Seth back up, and catches him with the head scissors. And now Sin Cara, it's a wise move. He's getting the crowd behind him. He's building his own momentum, but is that a wise move when you've got someone like Seth Rollins down the ground? You need to take full control once you have Seth down. And I wonder whether this is my fault, because I've amended the chance of reversals a little bit, because when the game first arrived, there was just too many reversals in my opinion, so I've reduced the chance of reversals so people have control of the match for a little bit longer. And I think that may be why we get more underdog victories, because once the underdog gets in control of a match, they dominate it. But yeah, don't know. Or maybe not. Sin Cara dives, but Seth was back on his feet and catches him into the pedigree. And Seth may have just pulled off a fantastic turnaround here. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Seth Rollins does pull off a fantastic victory against Sin Cara. On paper, we would expect him to win the match anyway. But you saw Sin Cara... Hang on a minute, I turned this off. I'm sure I turned post-match replays off. Well, evidently I haven't. I must have not saved it. There we go. We're going to see the replays once again. So yeah, Sin Cara went for the big dive once again, but Seth playing possum got back up to his feet and managed to catch Sin Cara into the pedigree. And it's a great win. Here we see it now. Sin Cara looking for the dive, and Seth back up on his feet, boot to the gut, hooks him in for the pedigree. And I still wish he'd stop using this pedigree in real life now. He's no longer aligned with Triple H, so using the pedigree now is more of an ironic sort of spit in the face of Triple H, isn't it, I suppose? But I'd rather him use something different, but there we go. And a great win it is for Seth Rollins. That's going to help boost him up the rankings, and of course boost his momentum going towards the Royal Rumble as well. And here we go with our number 1 contendership match. We're going to see the Dudley Boyz. Lost my breath there for a second. Bubba Ray and Devon taking on Enzo and Cass. The winner of this one will go on to face Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the current tag team champions, at the Royal Rumble. Could be an interesting one, this one. I look forward to seeing exactly who's going to come out on top. Ask me buggering this up, aren't we, really? Waiting for me to press a X button to go into the match. It's great to have the Dudleys back on the game now. Rumour has it, of course, we sort of know that Devon, that's the one. Devon is back working with the WWE backstage as a producer. So my chair's going to squeaky there for a second. And yeah, Devon's backstage again working as a producer. Rumour has it that Bubba Ray could be getting a singles run in the WWE pretty soon. Be interesting to see if that does happen. Because it was mentioned, well, when he left, some people mentioned about that and said about Bully Ray coming to WWE, and Velvet Sky said that Bully Ray would not work in the WWE. He's not a PG character, so if he was going to do it, he'd have to completely change his character as such, but I reckon he could pull off a little singles run. I don't know if it'd be good enough to go for the champion. I don't think he's good enough to go for the World Championship on either show, really, but he'd still be able to do a pretty decent singles run and put over some younger stars pretty well, I think. So I need to be careful now because some of these entrances are flagging my videos as copyrighted, which is a little bit annoying. Like, for example, the Vaudevillains. If you you'll notice on my videos in the future, the Vaudevillains entrance will be cut slightly. You'll miss certain bits out because the WWE class that as copyright, and the only reason I have to cut it out is because if I don't, then it makes my video unable to watch in 95% of the world. Certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can teach that. I can't even hear it. I've got my TV on mute, so I'm hoping I'm lining up right. 7 foot tall, and you can teach that. Bada boom, greatest guys in the room. See, I think they've got off the boil a little bit, Enzo and Cass. I'd like to see them do a little bit more, get a little bit more involved. I know they've been given some pretty decent matches here and there, but I think they could have been done with a. The thing is, I think the problem is they've brought in quite a few new tag teams onto Raw and into the WWE. But the issue I'm having is that because the New Day have just been the champions for so long and dominated the whole storyline, it's not allowed for anyone else to really get anything out of it, if that makes sense. And now they're pushing towards Hell in a Cell. They're pushing the New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Come on, you've got the Club, you've got Enzo and Cass, you've got some good tag teams on Raw, and no one's getting a look in because they're so intent on. In my opinion, nobody should be the tag team champions for what are the New Day now, like 400 days. I want to see some change. I want to see them. I want to see one of them nights. It happens every now and again. One of those nights where WWE just hit the reset button. And sometimes it's at a major pay-per-view and this, that, and the other. But like you'll see, like 3 or 4 championships all change hands on the same night, and all of a sudden, everything just feels fresh. And I'd love to see that happen. Saying that, I suppose. Well, Roman Reigns for me. Oh God, Roman Reigns for me. I'm not interested in that at all. I'm really not. I don't know if you guys are or not, but I'm just not interested in Roman Reigns as the United States champion. I'm really not. I like Rusev. I'm not like, wow, Rusev, but I like him. I think he's got a good place in the roster, but the whole thing with Reigns just bores me. It really does. So I wouldn't mind seeing Reigns lose that championship and give it to somebody else, like a Sami Zayn or someone that's going to really gain from it. Because Roman Reigns doesn't necessarily need it, because no matter what they do with Reigns, he's always going to get the same reaction. So they might as well just turn Reigns heel. Turning Reigns heel would save that guy's career right now, in my opinion. And I don't understand why they've not done that. But yeah, I just think we need a change up in the tag team division on Raw anyway, just to try and freshen things up a little bit. I don't know if the Club would be the right idea, because I think the Club don't really need it either. I think they could get away with if could just continue on their feuds, but I think Enzo and Cass need the gold for a little bit just to secure themselves really as one of the top tag teams on Raw, which they are. If you look at the tag teams they've got, don't get me wrong, they've got the Shining Stars, they've got the Golden Truth, both jobber tag teams essentially. So you've only really, and they lost the Dudley Boyz as well, so you've only really got Enzo and Cass, you've got the New Day, and you've got the Club. They're the only real dangerous tag teams, I suppose, if you look at it that way. Well, I don't know, I just want to see a bit more of Enzo and Cass, really. They keep getting stuck in all these. They're on. They're doing well because they're getting a lot of TV time. They're getting a lot of feuds and a lot of pay-per-view matches, but they just not seem to be. They all seem to be a little bit just pointless, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that Enzo and Cass are being used well, or do you think they could improve them better? I don't honestly know. I'm struggling with that one. I spoke about the dynamic in the tag team division before on this game. Anyway. If you look at the Dudley Boyz, they're both rated high 70s. Enzo Amore is rated mid 70s. But Colin Cassidy, he is the real wild card in this one because he's rated at 84. So if Cassidy stays in the ring, he's really someone who's going to dominate this tag team division. But then again, the New Day are all mid-80s. Even Xavier Woods is a mid-80. And I wonder whether Xavier Woods would qualify for the Cruiserweight division. I know really he's not, well, he's not a high flyer, but still, weight-wise, I think he could. I'm just Googling it now. As looks like we could get a big finish already. Of course, it's the wrong way. I wish they would fix this so it is the other way around sometimes. There's the pin. Enzo comes across, and he does take out Devon. And Big Cass gets the free count, and what a quick match that was. And Xavier Woods is on my screen here in front of me. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy are going on to face off against Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods at the Royal Rumble for the Tag Team Championships. Now I will just mention that I wasn't actually going to do this match. I didn't think about it. I don't know why I didn't think about it because it seems obvious now. But thank you very much to Fabian Schluter. I hope I pronounced that correctly as well. You suggested last week after our second episode of Raw that this should be a match to become the #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships, and you were spot on, mate. I'm a bit annoyed at myself I missed that one, so thank you very much for that. So yeah, we've got brand new #1 contenders named for the Tag Team Championships. That's another match on our card now for Royal Rumble. Right, so let's try this again. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. The WWE Women's Championship is going to be on the line. Sasha Banks defending against Charlotte. Our first championship match of the Universe mode as well. So really looking forward to that one. See how it all works out. Seeing if the championships get maybe a minor advantage this year. Just to try and mean that reigns last a little bit longer. But yeah, who knows. And if you've not seen it already, there will be a video on my channel with a glitch of this match, which really annoyed me. Now, you may have already seen it. It should have been uploaded by now. Basically, you know we had the Enzo and Cass versus Dudley Boyz match before this one. And well, basically, for some bizarre reason, when these two ladies came out to start their match, both Devon Dudley and Big Cass were still in the ring and proceeded to attack both these ladies. So I don't understand what is going on with this game whatsoever. So I'm hoping that when the new patch comes out next week, it is really going to fix a lot of these problems, because at the moment this game for me is becoming so difficult to use, because I've been recording now for nearly 2 hours, and you can see probably by the little timer at the bottom, we must only be probably about 20-25 minutes into the video, and took me 2 hours of just endless recording, fixing the game, recording, fixing the game. It's just it's really frustrating. So I'm hoping that this time we're going to have a clean sweep and we're able to go all the way through the match in this one. Of course, we only have 2 matches left after this one. We have the big fatal 4-way for the Cruiserweight Championship #1 contendership. Of course, the debut of Kota Ibushi in the Raw roster. And we also have a main event of Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, which will be very, very interesting. Of course, both those guys will be part of the triple threat match at the Royal Rumble in a couple of weeks' time. So we might get a prelude to just some of the violence that we can expect in that one. And we also know that Brock Lesnar is in the building. We saw him earlier on opening the show with that little promo. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what is going to happen. And hopefully we can get through these last 3 matches without any problems, which is might be logical, might be able to. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not going to say we are going to do it because I'm a little bit worried, really. But I know there is I don't know what it is, because when the game first came out, it didn't seem to have any problems, but now it's really, really struggling. Well, my version is anyway. Like I said earlier on in the video, my save file got wiped. I had to start again from scratch. We had this issue here with Enzo and Big Cass and Devon Dudley attacking the women. For some reason, I had a 7-match card set out for Raw. Then I changed all the matches, and then for some reason, I now have a 29-match card for Raw, which we're not going to obviously do a full 29-match card. just going to record what we need to record, and I'll just sim the rest of the matches. For some reason, it's just like the same person over and over again. Like Kevin Owens has got like 6 matches. It perplexes me how the game even works. I don't know. Right now, the head is in a big elbow to the top of the head of Sasha Banks. Now, the interesting thing on this one is that both these ladies do use a submission finisher. Now, Charlotte does have the natural selection to fall back onto as well, but so far, submission finishers have not been a spectacular work for us so far. It was suggested by Narwhale Gamer, I think it was. Just off the top of my head, that is. I'm pretty sure it was something like that. That we changed the submission system on the options to the old style, the button bashing style. Now, I have done that, and we've not had anything change as of yet, but then again, I don't think we've had any real submission specialists in matches, so this could be our match to finally see a submission win. Meteora by Sasha Banks there. Sasha now. Step up in Seguri or Shining Wiz, whatever you want to call that one. And now looking for is she looking for a surfboard? Yeah, she does lock in the surfboard. Beautiful move. And it's a good way to start to weaken some of the limbs of Charlotte. But Charlotte manages to break free and drop straight into the pin, but barely a 1 count before Sasha kicks out. And Charlotte taking some more control of this match now. This could be dangerous for Sasha. Charlotte twisting into almost like a neck breaker, but almost like a stunner version. But Sasha gets back into it, but Charlotte again just with a jawbreaker. Now, I'm not a big fan of Charlotte. I don't think she would have got as far as she has done if it wasn't for the fact that she's related to a Flair. I think that she still has a lot of work to do. I think she's quite dangerous in the ring. Especially that match they had, was it at SummerSlam or was it in the Raw? I can't remember what the match was now, but the one where Sasha lost the championship. I think it may have been Raw 2 or 3 weeks after SummerSlam, because yeah, she could have made, considering the injuries that Sasha apparently had at that point in time, Charlotte could have made it so much worse. That thing where she dropped her on the top turnbuckle was dangerous as hell. There's the pin from Sasha after the straight jacket neck. Whoa. Whoa, that was almost it. That was almost it. And Sasha now, this is terrible, Sasha. Come on. Come on, don't lock in. It's the ring positioning as well is just awful. Because that's going to be straight into a rope break now. So Sasha Banks got a finisher maneuver. So that's one of the major problems. I'm going to have to take that away. I know it's stupid to take away that move, considering it genuinely is a finisher maneuver, but it's just always going to be a rope break unless she gets lucky with the positioning. I'm going to have to, I'm afraid. Maybe I'll give her it as 2 separate maneuvers. Give her a backstabber as one finisher, and then give her a crossface as a separate finisher. But that bank statement just doesn't work on this game at all at the moment. I'll add it to the massive list of things that isn't working on this game at the moment. It's just so frustrating, it really is. Charlotte with a spear, and maybe this could be the first championship change in hands. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. I thought it was a 3. I thought I heard the referee's hand hit the mat for a 3rd time. And now Charlotte is lining up Sasha Banks. We've already seen her lock in a spear. Now what she's going to go for, big boot to the gut. And this is the move that she used to defeat Paige in that #1 contendership match. Natural selection. Charlotte into the pin. She's taking the time about it though. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Sasha kicked out even before. She kicked out quicker than what she did for the spear. And it looks like this match is going to continue on. Big knee to the face there by Charlotte. Now drops into the corner. Charlotte sort of unsure what to do. She's just sort of pacing around the ring, trying to decide what the best action is to do. She's dragging Sasha in the middle of the ring and dropping a knee onto the back. She knows that Sasha has had problems with back injuries over the last 6 months or so, so working on that back. Charlotte going to go for another pin. She's got her feet up on the ropes here. Referee doesn't see it. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. See, I like that I like that little animation where she puts her feet up on the ropes. The thing I don't like about it is the fact that the referee waits until both feet are on the rope before she starts counting. Like I say, if it's a normal pin, he'll start counting straight away because the shoulders are down, but he won't start the count until both feet are up on the ropes, which is a little bit annoying. Charlotte now, neck breaker, almost like a stunner style neck breaker on Sasha Banks. And just choking the grounded Sasha Banks out now as well. There's the hip toss there by Sasha now. Big slap to the face of Charlotte. Sasha boot to the gut. Lock in the arms. Straight jacket neck breaker for the second time in the match. Sasha drops into the pin. 1, 2, and 3. She's done it. Sasha retains her WWE Women's Championship here against Charlotte in a match that I was convinced Charlotte was going to win. I really was. I thought after the spear and the natural selection, I thought that was it. I thought that was game, set, match. But Charlotte managed to let it slip through her fingers, and Sasha Banks comes back in and wins the match. And like I said, we are going to have a Women's Royal Rumble in the pre-show for our Royal Rumble. And we are going to see somebody guarantee themselves a place at WrestleMania. We now know that Charlotte is going to be involved in that match, along with all the women, really. We're going to put as many as we can in. And who knows, there might be a couple of little surprises in there as well. Who knows? Who knows? We see the referee backstage. What's he doing here? Banging on the door. And there's Braun Strowman. What's Braun Strowman? Just barging past the... Oh, poor old Curtis Axel picks up the biggest victory of his career, and I think Braun Strowman's not going to let him forget about that one. And here we go. Here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be our Cruiserweight Championship #1 Contendership match. We've got Brian Kendrick, Tony Nese, Cedric Alexander, and Kota Ibushi making his debut here on Raw. We knew nothing about it. He literally just turned up at Raw today, walked straight into the authorities' office, as we saw in the beginning of the episode. And straight away, of course they would, wouldn't they? Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley were like, oh my god, we've got a great opportunity here. Let's stick him straight in tonight's card and let's see what he can pull off. Now, I'm looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be a good high-flying match, actually. And here we are. So first chance to see first chance for me to see all these, because all the brand new downloads for me now, and I think they are different to the ones I had before. This Brian Kendrick looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, it is a pretty damn good Brian Kendrick, isn't it? You can't go wrong now. I think as the games have gone on year after year after year, the created wrestlers have become so good because they've allowed us that much extra freedom now and that much extra control to really make these games look exactly how we want them to. And this match is just proof of it, really. So, of course, whoever wins this match will get an opportunity to face off against TJ Perkins. Trying to think of when we're going to do that match. I'm thinking maybe it could be part of the Royal Rumble again. We've got quite a few matches planned in for the Royal Rumble, so I think what we'll probably do is we'll probably have... we might have to split it into 3 videos rather than the... I know last year we were splitting our pay-per-views into 2 videos, but I think this year we might have to split them into 3 because we are going to go a bit more over the top. I'm thinking, especially Royal Rumble as well, we've got the 30-man Rumble. We're going to have a 10 or 20 woman Rumble as well if we can stretch it in. We're going to have, obviously, the Raw Championship, the SmackDown Championship, the IC Championship, the United States Championship. Both Tag Team Championships might get a look in, might get a match. Women's, obviously, Rumble, we already said about that. We've got the Cruiserweight Championship. There's a lot of stuff that we can get on with. So it might end up being a pretty big card. I have to try and note it all down here, see exactly what we are going to do for this pay-per-view. But who knows? TJ Perkins against one of these 4 guys as well. I think it should be on the. I think it should be on the card. I'm just trying to hear the music roughly. I think it's just a standard music. I don't think Cedric has even got a. I think he's even got an entrance set up from here. This is This is what I like about this year's game, is the standard entrance is actually a standard entrance rather than some dodgy Colin Cassidy entrance like it was on last year's game. That was a bit of a shocker, really, wasn't it? So now comes the chance of Tony Nese. And there he is, Tony Nese. Is there an entrance? I see the pyro on the floor next to him. Nope. No, the pyro's just there for the sake of it. Tony Nese, for me, I'm still a bit shocked with Tony Nese that he actually qualifies for the Cruiserweight division, because I always thought he was bigger. Because I've seen Tony Nese for quite some time. Of course, I first saw Tony Nese when he was part of TNA as Anthony Nese. And they released him because they didn't think he was good enough, and now he's proved them. Well, if you look at TNA's track record with wrestlers they've released, it doesn't work too well for them, does it really? Not necessarily released, but even just lost. Likes of AJ Styles, they didn't believe he was worth as much money as he wanted. Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode. But then you look at Consequences Creed, who's now, of course, Xavier Woods. Jesse Sorensen has had quite a few bits in NXT as well. He's not officially signed, he's just had a few matches here and there. But yeah, it happened with a lot of them, it really did. I was a little bit shocked by just the people they released TNA. It's almost like they don't know what to do with them. And here is the moment that everyone has been waiting for. The crowd absolutely hyped for this one. Kota Ibushi making his debut here on Monday Night Raw. What a massive name for them to sign up. And this guy is absolutely incredible in the ring. And I think if this guy gets the opportunity, he could really go places. He could dominate this roster. And I'm looking forward to seeing if he can pull it off this evening as well with his start. The thing is, to start off with a Fatal 4-Way match is going to be very difficult because, of course, we don't know if Kota Ibushi is even going to have an influence on the end of the match. It might end up that Kota is out demolishing somebody and Brian Kendrick pulls off a cheeky victory inside the ring. That's the thing about a Fatal 4-Way, is that you can be the best in the match by quite some distance, but it doesn't necessarily mean you are going to win the match. That's the thing. So, let's get into this one and see exactly what we have planned. See what match is going to unfold for us. And I'm sure TJ Perkins will be sat backstage thinking who he's going to have to defend his championship against in the next couple of weeks. At the Royal Rumble, I think. Yeah, we'll do it at the Rumble. Why not? I think that's the best bet. And straight away, Brian Kendrick has taken TJ Perkins down. TJ Perkins or TJ Perkins? Who's the other guy? Kota Ibushi, that's the one. And now 3 of the 4 guys are actually on the outside, and Kota Ibushi's the only man left in the ring on his own. But this is good for Kota Ibushi. He's regaining or retaining his energy while everyone else takes each other out. But now Ibushi's starting on Tony Nese. Sorry if you're going to hear me clicking quite a bit. I've just, some things have popped up ahead of my recording screen. I'm struggling to see what's going on, which I'm really annoyed about because I was really looking forward to this match. So yeah, keep an eye out because we are going to have some more big cruiserweights coming in to this roster over time. So keep an eye out for that as well. That's going to be a very interesting one. That I'm looking forward to utilising some of them. And they're not just people that are in WWE at the moment. They are people that I have hand-selected. Some of my favourites from across the world will be at some point making an entrance into Raw's Cruiserweight division. And there'll also be... like I said earlier on, keep an eye out for the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is going to be a really big night. It's going to be the biggest part of this universe mode so far. There's going to be a lot of surprises, and we are really going to bolster up some of the rosters quite considerably as well. So I don't want to give away too many surprises that we've got planned, but it's going to be very good. That's all I've got to say. A massive super kick there by Tony Nese on the outside as Kota Ibushi taking Brian Kendrick down as well. And now Nese and Ibushi going after each other, and it's Nese who's coming out on top at the moment. Big vertical suplex on Ibushi. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Tony Nese. I do like him. And I have been thinking we are going to do at some point, we are going to create our own universe mode. And I'm going to select all of my favourite wrestlers to create our roster. Obviously, I'll use a lot of your input as well as we're going through that. But just think about the people I would use, and I think all 4 of these guys in this match would probably be part of that game, of that roster. Like, I am a big fan of the Cruiserweight division in general, so yeah, these 4 guys will be big ones for us, I think. And of course TJ Perkins won. The TJ Perkins core on the community creations is fantastic, I will say that. And now Cedric Alexander going up to the top rope as reverse suplex, and oh, Cedric out of nowhere. I thought he was going to dive on the grounded Tony Nese, but no, he did a double foot stomp onto the gut of Kota Ibushi on the outside. That was vicious. Wow, I was not expecting that at all. That was crazy. And now Kendrick's up on the top rope and waiting for Nese to get back up to his feet. There's the diving crossbody, and Cedric now sending Kota Ibushi once again to the apron. Now what's Cedric going to go for here? Oh, the backdrop onto the apron. That's the hardest part of the ring. Sorry, my voice sounds a bit funny. I've got a bit of hiccups going on. I keep getting hiccups when I'm recording. I think it's because I'm trying to accentuate my voice a lot more than normal. Because I found when I started doing these videos, I was a bit boring. And I'm trying actively to try and make myself sound a bit more interesting. Just bugging my voice up after a while. All 4 guys now back up to their feet. Kota in the ring. Looking to take Kendrick up there for either a gorilla press, but Kendrick slid out the back. Quick roll through now by Tony Nese and lifts him up into a big powerbomb. As Kota Ibushi with a Frankensteiner from the top rope on Brian Kendrick. Kota Ibushi looking for some strikes. Now there's a snap suplex as well. I think Ibushi was going to go for a springboard there, but Nese got back up to a standing position, so Ibushi decided to come back in and take him back down, basically. Dropping an elbow onto the inside of the knee now. Cedric Alexander's waiting this one out. Not quite sure what he's still doing there on the apron. Phoenix splash by Kota Ibushi. Big high impact move by him. And now Kendrick sending Ibushi into the corner. Got pop-ups again. That is some naked ladies. Okay. I'll leave that pop-up up for later. I almost missed the end of the match then because naked ladies come on my screen. That is a really funky pop-up. I like that one. Sorry, I'm back now. I've closed the naked lady pop-up, I promise. So now Brian Kendrick draping Cedric Alexander across that middle rope. And there's a spiked DDT. Ibushi with a running forearm in the corner. And now it's just Ibushi and Kendrick in the middle of the ring. Both Nese and Alexander out on the outside. Kendrick, there's a Northern Light suplex. I thought he might have bridged in for the pin. But now he's going to drag Ibushi into the middle of the ring. Not sure what Kendrick's got planned here. Now he's going to go for the pin. That was a really bizarre set of AI there by Brian Kendrick. Nese with a kick and a big overhand punch as well. And a big German suplex on Brian Kendrick, who slides to the outside. Now Nese sending Alexander to the outside as well. And now it's just Tony Nese and Kota Ibushi in the ring. Ibushi has not noticed Nese, I don't think. He's taunting the crowd. And now Nese and Ibushi both to the outside. So now Ibushi catches Nese and sends him into the ring, knowing that 2 of his 4 opponents are down at the moment. If Ibushi can finish Nese off, he can win this match and get himself a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship in his debut here on WWE television. Locking in the figure 4 leg lock now on Tony Nese. Are we going to see a submission victory for the first time in this game? No, we're not. It would have been crazy, wouldn't it? You think of all the people on this game. It would have been crazy if our first submission victory was Kota Ibushi, wouldn't it? He's not really known as a submission specialist. Ibushi. They've actually got the actual proper Ibushi bomb on the game. Is it called an Ibushi bomb? I don't think it is called an Ibushi bomb, is it? It's essentially a last ride sit-out power bomb. Ibushi now sending Alexander into the corner. Now taunting the crowd as he runs in with that running forearm. Tony Nese was down for a while after that sit-out powerbomb, and now Ibushi taking Nese down once again on a super kick. Nese is down, and now it's down to 2 guys back on their feet. Brian Kendrick and Kota Ibushi. Kendrick with that stunner onto the knee. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Brian Kendrick is your #1 contender, and he's actually pinned the debuting Kota Ibushi in the process. Massive win. Massive, massive win there for Brian Kendrick. And he's also taken the thunder away from the debuting Kota Ibushi as well. Wow. That was crazy. Did not see that coming whatsoever. I thought Kota Ibushi was going to do well, which he did. He did a very, very strong showing, but it was just that one move by Brian Kendrick was all it needed to finish Kota Ibushi off. Why is there replays? I keep switching the replays off, and they still keep using. It's just the game's broken. The game is broken on every single level. Hopefully we can get it fixed with a new patch, but we are going to see Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins at the Royal Rumble for the Cruiserweight Championship. And here we go into our main event of the evening. It is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Both these guys will be part of the triple threat match for the Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble. And this evening, we get to see them one-on-one. Maybe a prelude for what we might see. Of course, we saw Sami Zayn defeated by Brock Lesnar only a couple of weeks ago. And that's what sparked this match off in the first place. We saw Sami Zayn versus Brock Lesnar. And for some reason, Kevin Owens came out after the match and attacked both Zayn and Lesnar, which is a bit of a crazy one, really. I can understand him coming out and trying to attack just Sami Zayn, but to take on a man like Brock Lesnar as well seems a little bit dangerous for Kevin Owens, but there you go, who knows. I will be changing that into capital letters. Well, someone's called him the Raw Champion when it should be the Universal Champion, shouldn't it, really? Seems odd that someone's created a... This is the most downloaded belt on Community Creations, and they've not even put the right name on there. It's a bit crazy, really. So, this should be an interesting one, this. And like I was saying, yeah, we've seen Brock Lesnar pick up quite a convincing victory over Sami Zayn. So, this one might give us another inkling on roughly what we might see. I am looking forward to doing the Rumble now. I think it's going to be a really, really good card. I think it's going to be one of the best pay-per-views we put out. With that triple threat match between Zayn, Lesnar and Owens. We've got AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins. We've got the 30-man Rumble. We've got a 20-woman Rumble, I think, if we can get enough women to put in there. I think we've got enough women to put in there. So we've really got a lot of big matches coming for you at the Rumble, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it's going to be uploaded no later than next weekend. I'm not going to say this weekend. This weekend might be a bit early for it, especially with the amount of problems I've had just recording this one episode. It's taken me nearly 3 hours now to get to this point of getting to the main event. So, and I've still got some more little bits and bobs that I need to record, some little backstage segments that I'm going to smush into this as well. So it's going to take me a hell of a long time to get these episodes sorted, which is why there's a bit of a less of uploads at the moment. But I said that then towards the end of 2K16, I want to do less videos, but try and make them better. And hopefully that is coming across. Hopefully the videos are better, and you get an opportunity to see like the little bits that happened last week and some little backstage segments and bits and bobs like that. And just trying to put a bit more effort into the videos. I'm going for quality over quantity, whereas in the past I've always seemed to go for quantity over quality, really. But I think that's a good thing. It gives us a chance to really invest time and effort into these videos and into the storylines as well. Especially when I was trying to do 5 or 6 different brands at once, it just got a bit crazy. There was just too much going on. And it became very, very difficult for me to keep track of it. And not less you, I suppose. At least I was recording all the videos. I'm sure you guys weren't watching all the videos, so it's very difficult to keep track of exactly what's going on every single roster. So now, hopefully, it isn't too bad to keep track of it because there's less to watch, really. And we're doing the random matches anyway as well. That's keeping everyone a bit more entertained. Sami Zayn, great head scissors there. And Owens with an uppercut. Owens now. Oh, a neck breaker onto his knee. That's a vicious looking move again. And that's the way Owens is, though. He's got a very vicious strike to him. Strike? A very vicious side to him, which is quite dangerous as well, especially against someone like Sami Zayn, who notoriously Owens does not get on with very well. And Owens now signaling for Zayn to get back up. Is Owens going to go for a springboard? He is a springboard dropkick by Kevin Owens, showing his agility. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't realise about Owens. He was, especially on the indie scene as well, he always was a lot more agile than what he looked he would ever be. And he did lose a hell of a lot of weight for joining the WWE. He was never in bad shape, I suppose. He was always a very fit person. He was always, I've seen him in PWG start the show with a match and end the show with a main event as well. So he always had a lot of fitness, but he just wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing, shall we say. He lost a lot of weight to join the WWE, and that's only going to make him more agile. He used to do like senton bombs and all sorts when he was in PWG. I remember a match he had against Neville, which was insane. Owens now clubbing blow against the back of Zayn, and again. Now, I'd be interested to see if they ever go for this as a main event feud. Because obviously they rate Owens there, because obviously they give him the Universal Championship, but do they rate Sami Zayn high enough to give him that main event feud? I think it would work quite well with the dynamic between these two. But of course at the moment it's all about Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. And of course Chris Jericho's in there as well. I think Jericho will be gone after the Survivor Series, I believe, because he's got some... I think Sami Zayn might have just broken his own arm there. Because he has some commitments to his band, Fozzy. I think they've either recorded a new album and they're going on tour, or they're going to record a new album, I think. Well, one of the two. So he's going to be out for a good few months. Which leaves a sort of a... I'm going to say a void, but it leaves a space for somebody to challenge against Kevin Owens. And there's the Blue Thunder Bomb by Zayn, and Zayn could be the man. I think Zayn versus Owens, the main event of pay-per-view, could be a massive match. Wow, that was so close to a 3. Sami Zayn almost picked up a lot of momentum there going forward into the Royal Rumble. And now Zayn looking to line up. Kevin Owens locks in the Koji clutch. Now, one thing I don't remember seeing Sami Zayn using the Koji clutch that often, really, in the WWE, does he? He's already locked in for quite some time. Are we going to see a submission victory for the first time on this game? No. We're going to see Owens break free in that big elbow to the side of the face of Sami Zayn. I like the fact that it was locked in for a very long time, though. I think that's a good thing. Jawbreaker now by Sami Zayn. And a step up Inseguri as well. And there's a springboard moonsault, defying all the laws of gravity there. And then, I have no idea what that was. I think he completely missed him anyway. He's missed quite a few Sami Zayn so far. This is what the game isn't great at springboards. It's not very good at having people in the right position and hitting the springboards. It's always a bit random, isn't it? Wrenching the leg back of Owens, and clever move there by Zayn. If he can tweak the leg or maybe damage a knee, that's going to help him if the injury is sustained all the way to the Royal Rumble. Owens there went for the Ace Crusher, and Zayn reversing into the half and half suplex. And a drop kick to the side of the head of Kevin Owens as well. Zayn bringing Owens back up to his feet. Into the corner. What it was going to go for then. He's going to give the half and half suplex into the turnbuckle. Drags Owens away from the corner. He's going to go for a pin here, surely. After that high impact set of moves. 1, 2. Oh, and again, it's so close to a 3 count. Sami Zayn, this will be a massive, massive win for him. He's defeated Kevin Owens in the past. But this is not just defeating Kevin Owens. This is defeating the Universal Champion 2 weeks before your big match at a major pay-per-view. Zayn spinning Owens around, and now... oh, we're going to see some good stuff here. We're going to see an OMG moment as Owens gets caught with a tornado DDT. Zayn coming through that middle rope. I agree with the crowd. This is pretty awesome. These two guys in the ring together work so well. The chemistry on this game for these two is really, really good. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more of them. Referee's up to a 3 count now. I've noticed on this year's game, everyone's a little bit more risky when it comes to countouts. I think we are going to see quite a few count-out victories. Even draws is a possibility. See, the referee's up to a 5 count, and still these guys are fighting on the outside. Owens sending Zayn into the barricade. That referee counting to an 8, and both guys are still halfway up the ramp. Sami Zayn. Oh, sit out scoop slam. This is going to end up being a double count out here, isn't it? Zayn's running back to the ring and he doesn't make it. It is a double count out. Wow, the ring can just not control these two guys, can it? And as we said, the ring cannot contain these two. And this match continues backstage. Kevin Owens attacking Sami Zayn from behind. And it's the first time we've done a backstage brawl in this game. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how it's going to play out. And Kevin Owens just picking up some random material there. We are getting word in that ear that Mick Foley and Stephanie are going to allow this to continue as a Falls Count Anywhere style match, I think. We'll wait and see what happens, I suppose. Oh, it's Kevin Owens just sending Sami Zayn straight into the trunk there. And now a Saito suplex on the outside in the concrete. And is that Renee Young in the distance there, I can see? I think it is. Kevin Owens up on a container. Went for the double axe handle and completely missed because Sami Zayn was laying on the ground when he went for it. That's a bit of a dumb move there by Kevin Owens. So yeah, the ring can just not contain these two. Into the locker room they go. Sami Zayn just sending Kevin Owens straight through the door. Now following him through. He has a trash can. Maybe Kevin Owens is going to regret that attack from behind. Maybe he should have allowed Sami Zayn just to continue on. Just notice in there, the bottom part of the screen. Is that the Money in the Bank briefcase? Maybe one of these guys should grab it. They might get themselves a guaranteed championship match. Kevin Owens now with a torture rack. Spins it into a neck breaker. And this feud, I tell you what, this is a very personal feud between these two. But of course, it's not completely personal because we are going to see Brock Lesnar involved in this as well at the Royal Rumble. If you think this is brutal between these two, you wait till Suplex City becomes part of it as well. Straight into that trash can. Zayn with that big knee to the gut of Kevin Owens now rolls him through. I'm not actually quite sure what the ending of one of these matches is. Is it pin or is it just a big move that knocks one of them out? I'm not 100% sure, to tell the truth. But either way, both these guys really struggling. Now, after their match in the ring, of course, both were counted out. Really, the match just could not contain them. But the last thing Stephanie and Mick Foley want is for their main event on Raw to finish the way that it did, really. It was a bit of a poor finish. So it's good to see these two guys continuing on the brawl. I want to see him go further down the corridor. I want to go and see those four people down the other end, see what's going on down there. Kevin Owens now waiting for Sami Zayn to get back up to his feet. Owens again up on one of those containers. Another crossbody landing right in the back of Sami Zayn, really causing more and more problems to Zayn. Of course, if one of these two guys were to pick up an injury, that would be detrimental to their chances at the Rumble. Really motorbikes. Kevin Owens now continuing the assault on Sami Zayn. Where's Owens taking Zayn now? Slamming him headfirst off that container. And again headfirst off that container. Zayn struggling now and trying to walk away. But Owens catches him straight away in that Saito suplex on the concrete on the outside. Now Kevin Owens lining Sami Zayn up. Oh, Owens, no. No, Kevin Owens, don't do this. Oh my God, it's a package pile driver on the concrete. Backstage, Kevin Owens has just destroyed Sami Zayn. Wow, there's no way Zayn's going to get up from that. Kevin Owens could have greatly reduced his career here. Hitting a package pile driver on the concrete backstage. How insane is that? So guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. It had a bit of a spectacular finish, didn't it, really? If you have enjoyed it, of course, then please do hit that like button and let me know. And of course, if you are new around here and you want to see some more, then there's a lot more coming on this channel, so hit that subscribe button as well. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for some more WWE 2K17.